There we go. All right. Who else we got on the line tonight? I didn't mute myself, did I?
No.
Okay.
No, you're good, Dave.
Good. Good evening. Welcome to the Hope Call. Who we got out there?
Hey, it's Brett Andrews here.
Hey,
Faith
Fred, how
from
you doing,
Ontario.
Hey, guys. Standing by right when you need me.
Did you say Bree from Ontario?
Faith.
Faith, there you are. I'm sorry. That's my good
Hi.
ears. How are you, Miss Faith?
I'm great. How are you?
Delightful. I'm curious.
Good.
If it's 30 degrees here, what are you seeing right now?
It's pretty cold, probably -10, -15.
Ouch.
Hey, you guys, it's 70 degrees in California. Woo!
I think I'm going to move there.
Good evening. Welcome to the Hope Call. Who just joined us?
Tammy Lind.
Well, good evening. How are you?
Okay.
Good evening. Welcome to the Hope Call. Folks, it's 9:02. We're going to give it about another 30 seconds before we kick this call off. We've got some of my absolute favorite stories lined up to tell us tonight. Folks from Canada, folks from St. Louis, buddy here from Louisville. We got all kinds of rock stars on the phone tonight. So take about another 30 seconds and send us those last-minute Facebook messages and texts, and let's get some folks on this call and pack this thing out and hear some amazing stories.
Okay.
So something huge happened at our household today while we're waiting for this next 30 seconds to pass. I think my wife nearly jumped the UPS guy when he showed up here with 10 cases of neon.
I heard
I don't know
it
about
from
you guys, but we're pretty stoked to have a whole bunch of neon in this house.
Dave. Dave, if you come up to St. Louis, I just want one can. Hey, I just want one can. I heard Serena from 22 miles away.
Oh, I tell you what, it's funny to see the comments all around Facebook. Hey, we got to put a black light in our kitchen, and yeah, it's going to make for some interesting parties.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. Mine is due any day.
Oh man, pretty stoked with it.
Yes, I'm excited. Did everybody see the video on it?
Yes, the video is awesome.
The YouTube review, great.
Yeah, that's a powerful tool for us.
Yep, for sure.
All right, well, folks, it's 9:04. Let's go ahead and get this call kicked off. I'll tell you what, I want to welcome everybody to the Tuesday Night Hope Call. Every week, the 100-plus Pound Club in Visalis puts on a call for folks that the original intent was anybody need to lose 50 pounds or more, but quite honestly, anybody that's got a health goal that needs to have some inspiration, needs to hear that they're not alone, that there are other people that struggle with the same things. That's absolutely what we're here to do, to inspire others to be able to hit their goals. And we have got a guy on the phone tonight that's my co-host for the evening, a buddy of mine named Brett out of Alabama. And folks, I'll tell you what, this guy he is Vi till he dies. Either that or he's got to have tattoos removed from his arm, one way or the other. But I'm pretty sure he's here with us for life. And this guy inspires me daily. He has gone from having major health crises to being a serious CrossFit athlete. Regional director out of Alabama. Brother Brett, are you out there?
I am here, Brother Dave. Thanks for talking about me. Hey, guys. How you doing tonight? Listen, before we get this call started, real quick, I just want to share with you guys a little bit about my story. If you haven't met me already, my name is Brett Andrews, Regional Director, also known as the Former Fat Boy. In fact, you can look me up on Facebook and social media at Former Fat Boy 90. My challenge journey started before a lot of people on this call. Back in November 2010, when I was 30 years old, and I was told to go to the hospital because I was about to have a stroke that day. Was 100 pounds heavier than I am now, and I knew right then that something needed to change. My good friend Greg Leffel came and challenged me a couple weeks later. Said he's going to lose 25 pounds like I started with him in February. To date, I lost 100 pounds. got my health back, overcome things like type 2 diabetes symptoms, stage 1 hypertension, chronic fatigue, lower back pain, chronic heartburn, had heartburn every single day for years, even poor vision got better. I don't say that this cured anything, but certainly helped my good nutrition certainly helped make my life much easier. And I'm currently on my 13th challenge, going to be finishing up at the end of next month. And I went from being 100 pounds overweight, I couldn't walk up a flight of stairs without getting winded, even just one floor, to now I'm a CrossFit athlete 4 days a week and working on my first mud run at the beginning of March out in Atlanta. So enough about my story. Let's hear from some of the other people we have on the call tonight. First up, we have a gentleman who's part of the 100-pound club, Mr. Jim Barrett from St. Louis, who has had quite a transformation himself. Jim, are you out there, buddy?
Yes, I am. How you doing?
I'm doing great, buddy. Why don't you tell me about your story tonight and how this experience has helped you as a person as far as joining the 100-pound club? What's your story?
Okay. Well, prior to the challenge, the 10th of April of 2010 is the day I'm going to remember the rest of my life. Not only the day that I got married, but wearing a size 68 for a tux, I was sitting down at my own wedding because of my back. The girth that I had that I was carrying for all these years. I not only was embarrassed, but I was just ashamed of what I did to myself during that whole time. After I got married, went to the hospital, had a checkup, and weighed an astonishing 475 pounds. I knew I needed a change. So I was introduced to the challenge by a good friend of mine, and the first week I lost 14 pounds in the first 6 days. I was immediately amazed. I've now lost 125 pounds. I went from a size 7X shirt down to a 2 and a size 60 jeans down to a 48, and I never felt better in my life. I felt absolutely amazing.
Wow, that is incredibly impressive. So you went from a size 60, was it a size 60 jeans to what, a 48?
Correct, and a size 7X shirt down to a 2.
Good grief, man. I didn't know they made 7X. Congratulations.
Thank you much.
That is quite the story. And by the way, you said you lost 125 pounds in what amount of time?
In about 2 years and 4 months.
Okay, so 2 years to 4 months. I think the big takeaway here is that, like anything worthwhile in life, the challenge is really it's a lifestyle. We call it the Vi Life for a reason. It's not some quick fix. Even people that have a lot to lose can take a little while to lose it. I know it took you about 2 years and 4 months. It took me about the same to reach my 100-pound goal. And so it's not a quick fix, but certainly it is life-changing.
You. Yeah, I was talking about you got the trash you didn't put out.
Okay, guys, be sure to mute the line.
And in the kitchen too? No, I mean the door locked. Door ain't locked? Yes, it's on the door.
Guys, if you are on the moderator pan, be sure to mute the line. We can hear you talking about the trash.
But that's not taking the trash out.
Oh. The door went back to the door was locked.
The door ain't locked. No, I didn't. We don't lock the door.
Hey, folks, we've got somebody on the line that we're not able to mute out that's talking about taking the trash out and having conversations at home. Can we get you to mute your line, please?
Okay, I hope we got that. So next up we have a native from our co-host Dave Morgan's hometown of Louisville, Kentucky, Mr. Barry Spencer, who's also been quite successful with his 90-day challenge, 1 day at a time, 10 pounds at a time. So I want to see if we can hear from Barry, kind of tell us his story, and see what he's got going on and what advice he can give the rest of us. Barry, you out there, brother?
Hey, Brett, I'm here. Can you hear me all right?
I hear you just fine, buddy. Go ahead, kind of tell us your story and what you picked up along the way in your 100-pound weight loss journey.
All right, awesome, man. Thank you for having me on tonight. Jim, you inspire me, brother, every time I hear your story and I see you. It's awesome. I love to see your transformation and the other ones. I tell you, just over 2 years ago, a friend of mine come to me with the challenge, and he said, I think you need this. And I said, well, why do you think it works? He said, well, I've lost 40 pounds on it, and I know it works, so I think you need to try this. So I did. But the reason why he came to me was I had been pretty much living my life without going out of the house. I had always been like this, but I'd had 5 hip replacements. I had 17 hip surgeries. I had one of my hips infected, and I almost died. Actually, my organs were shutting down. And so, needless to say, my health was a train wreck. Yeah, I started to gain a bunch of weight. I couldn't get any exercise. I spent almost a whole year just within the house or confined of my home. But, up until this, I was pretty active. It's just, not everyone has a lot of weight to lose, but you may know someone who may, something tragic may happen to their life to where they need this, or you can share this with them, like myself. That led me from gaining a bunch of weight to being really unhealthy. I had high cholesterol, high blood pressure, was on sleeping pills, was on anti-inflammatories, muscle relaxers, sleep apnea on top of that, and taking a bunch of pain medicines and some, it was like 50-something pills a day. That's why I led my life about 12 hours a bed, an hour in the bed. And, I got 2 teenage sons, and, at the time my wife, bless her heart, she was just, carrying the load, and I was sitting back looking at my life like, I can't do anything about this. And for the first time in my life, I wasn't in control. And I was at the mercy of, the medicines, and it was sad. I mean, I had a lot of struggles with that, and seeing, my kids grow up without me, and, my wife supporting our family, and me just sitting back kind of in a blur watching it all go by. And I looked at my wife at night. We went to the challenge party, and I said, we got to do this. We don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. Our family doesn't have a choice. We have to do this. This is the end. This is it. I mean, and it was a blessing. We got on the challenge. We actually, we just started to promote it right out of the bat because I knew it worked, and I was seeing success in other people. And I knew that my life was going to be impacted, and I was going to use that to change everybody else's life around me. And the first week I lost 15 pounds. My wife lost 4. Then I decided after about 2 weeks I was going to set my goal to lose 45 pounds in 90 days. I ended up losing 77 pounds and never walked into the gym. My wife lost 38 pounds the first 90 days, and my 2 teenage sons got on it, and they lost 100 pounds combined. It's changed their life. It's changed my whole family. We're down over 300 pounds in my family. I've lost almost right at 130. I went from size 56 waist to 42s. I've been able to, I know we can't claim to, that this will cure anything, but it cured me. All I know is I don't take the medicines that I used to take because of my health. This is the first time in my life I've realized that, I can change so many people's lives, and I never did know, okay, what am I going to do when I grow up? Everybody thinks, what are you going to do when you grow up? Well, if you think you want to change people's lives, well, then get involved with ViSalus, because we're changing people's lives, and I've been able to help hundreds of people. We're national directors out of Louisville, Kentucky, and we've just been able to impact so many people in our community, and it's all because someone took the time to share this with me. So thanks to people that got you on this call tonight and sent you the messages, because, they cared enough about you, like my good friend John Wade did, to share the challenge with me.
Much appreciated, Barry. Real quick, I want to ask you something, because I know sometimes our ego can get in the way, and I think you'll know what I'm saying. Our ego can get in the way and kind of prevent us from doing what we know is right and reaching out to that friend we know needs our help. Now, I want you to tell us right here, right now. I know this might sound kind of a silly question, given all the amazing things you shared with us. Are you glad that your friend reached out and told you about the challenge that he was starting?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Yeah, and we do. We think, we think about rejection. We think about, they're going to think I'm nuts. They're going to think, I don't need this. Or do they think I'm fat? Is that what they're saying? But you have a chance to change the rest of someone else's life. You have the chance to keep them alive for their family. Put aside all of your egos. Put aside you. Put aside how you think they think you feel. Put aside that. And just put out in front of you care about someone else's life. Because John cared enough about me to say, you know what, me and him were in kind of in the same boat in a lot of senses, and he could have just let it go by. But, when he said, Barry, you need this. This is what it's done for me. And so, Brett, if that answers your question.
Yeah, I think so. I know that I was talking with Dave, my co-host, about this a little bit earlier tonight, about how sometimes our ego can really get in the way, and the person we used to be can kind of block us from doing what we know is right and what we know people need to do, and it can kind of hold us back sometimes from really just stepping out in faith and moving forward with our goals and letting the world know what we can do to help them. And speaking of letting the world know what we can do and what we can achieve when we really put our minds to it, our final guest of the night, really excited about that. Really excited about her. Comes to us from our Canadian market. She's been referred to as Visal's the strongest woman. If my co-host is correct in telling me she's a current world record holder and looking to set her next record sometime in 2015. Faith Sims, are you out there, ma'am?
I am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Really excited to hear about your story, where you've been, and, of course, most importantly, where you're going. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself tonight?
Well, thanks for having me. First of all, I know we tried this last week and it didn't really work out, but I'm just excited to share my story because I know there are so many people out there that have a goal, and I mean, it doesn't matter if it's 20 pounds or if it's 200 pounds. If you don't have the tools or you don't have the support system in place to make that goal happen, it feels the same. 20 pounds, 200 pounds, it can be just as difficult, and that's where I was. I had spent my whole life, I've honestly lost and gained hundreds and hundreds of pounds in my lifetime, just trying to find a quick fix, something that would work, something that would help me. I didn't have a lifestyle mentality. I always said, I'm going to diet, I'm going to crash diet for a few months, and then I'm going to be at my goal, and I'll just live my life. Well, my life was a train wreck. It led me to 350 pounds. I was bedridden for part of the summer. The year I found the challenge, I have 4-stage deterioration in both the joints of my knees. I had sleep apnea. I would stop breathing 30 times a minute while I was sleeping. I had severe depression. In all honesty, I felt like I had tried everything there was to try. Nothing had worked. I was bigger than I'd ever been. And if you want me to be perfectly honest, if I'd had the guts, you would have found me on the side of a road waiting for a bus that I could walk in front of, because I literally felt like I had done everything that I could do and that I was just going to be trapped in this body, this broken body that I had no clue how to fix for the rest of my life. And honest to God, I cried out to him and I said, God, I can't do this anymore. I need something. And sure enough, along comes the challenge. And I'm sure there are many people on the line that can say this was a lifeline for them when they were ready to give up hope. And that's why this call is so important, is because people need to know that there is hope. I started on a transformation kit. Someone believed in me. My husband was laid off. I had no money. I just, like I said, I felt trapped. And so, you know, they sewed into my life and they got me on a transformation kit. My first challenge, I couldn't even be physically active due to the state of my legs. So I lost 40 pounds and 21 inches practically laying in bed. And when that happened, I thought, oh, my gosh, I have found the sun, the moon, and the stars. And, you know, flash forward, it's taken me, I'm in my 4th year on the challenge, multiple challenges. I'm down 158 pounds of fat. I've added on 46 pounds of lean mass in the last 4 years. I went from I think it was 71% body fat to now I'm just hovering around 38% right now. So I still have a bit of a ways to go. But I started lifting weights, and as soon as I could, I started getting active. So at first it was a walk around the block, a walk up the stairs, a walk, up and down the front of my street in front of my house, because that's all I was capable of. The point is just to get active, start moving a little bit at a time. And so, flash forward, here I am. This summer I'm going to break the world record for the heaviest vehicle pull by a woman. I'm pulling a 30,000-pound warplane. Kind of a crazy challenge. I know not everybody has that kind of challenge, but I'm doing it to feed people in my community who are living in poverty and are having their own health issues because they can't eat properly. So the challenge, I watched that video the first time and somebody said that it changed their life, and I thought, how does a milkshake change your life? Well, I honestly can say I'm one of those people at every challenge party. I say the challenge changed my life. I got my kit for free very, very early. That was key for me because finances were not in the cards to continue paying for a kit. So I love the fact that Visalis gives us the opportunity to help people get their product for free. And I use just about every product they offer. If it's out there, the ViBites, the cookies, the Go Shots, now the Neon's coming in. I'm so excited about that. So it's just transformed everything. I'm off medications. I don't use a sleep apnea machine. And most of all, obviously, I just pulled a 20,000-pound transport truck in October for one of my challenge goals, and so it's amazing what it's done to my health and my physical being. So if I can do it, I like to say if I can do it, anybody can do it. And the best part of the challenge is the community of people that are willing to rally around you and support you and make sure that you reach your goals, Brett.
I'm still stuck on this. I'm still stuck on the I pulled 20,000 pounds just recently. I'm going for more. Oh my goodness! Thank you so much, Faye. I think that I think you made a great point there. That the challenge it can change someone's life. It did for me. It did for Barry. It did for Jim. I'm sure Dave, it did for you. Dave, why don't you tell us a little bit more? And why don't you take over for me? Faye, thank you so much. That was very incredible. And best of luck in pulling. How big was that next vehicle, the plane that you heard?
Yeah. The warplane is happening June 2015, and it's between 30 and 35,000 pounds.
Oh, my goodness. You got to get footage of that for Vitality, which would be probably the end of the summer. I can't wait to see your results on that one. Best of luck on that, Faye.
Thank
Dave,
you.
I'll pass it over to you, boy. Thank you, Faye.
So, Faye, I'm thinking to pull a 35,000-pound truck, you're looking at 3 or 4 Neons right beforehand. Get you all juiced up and.
At least. When I did the truck, it was a couple of goes in a pro. So now that the Neon's around, I'll definitely be using that too.
Wow. Folks, I'll tell you what, we've got, like I say, we're starting this call off. These are some of my favorite stories. Barry's here in town with me. Every time we get together for challenge parties, Barry and Tabitha and me and Sharinda are called up front to make sure that we share our stories. Barry and I are the 2 guys in Louisville. They're in the Pound Club. And I used to be the first one to stand up there and get to tell my story because I was the first one in the Pound Club here. But I tell you what, I quickly and lovingly stand to the side and let Barry tell his story last because I tell you what, I might have lost 105 pounds. I might have gone from grade 3 morbidly obese down to just being overweight. But I tell you what, my story doesn't come anywhere near the boom that Barry's does. We were at a challenge party or a group get together last week, and I don't remember what the number was, but the amount of money that Barry and Tabitha calculated on the way over to this party of how much money they have saved in the last few years on copays just on the medicines they're not taking. It's tremendous, folks. So you've got 5 people on the phone tonight that have told their stories for a total of 618 pounds lost in 5 people. This is life-changing for many of us, and you hear these stories. This is not just life-changing, but it's truly life-saving. So a little bit about my story. Again, I started off 310 pounds. I was 60 inches around the belly. I was spilling out of my 44-inch pants, but most people know guys don't wear their pants around the belly buttons, and, of course, that's where we take measurements. So 5 foot around the belly. And December 19th, the doctor took obese off of my permanent medical record. We're saving $5,000 on health insurance this year because we're able to go to a lesser expensive premium because the challenge has put my wife and I in such a healthy range. So to say that we have come off of all the pills that everybody else has, no, we weren't taking that many to begin with, but we now are no longer facing things like the diabetes. We're not facing high blood pressure. We're not facing all these other issues that we were initially. So all that we do is we make a decision. And in about 10 minutes, we're going to make another decision. 10 minutes later, we're going to make another one. But everybody you're hearing on this phone started off in a boat that we said, you know what, we don't think that this is possible. But somebody reached out to us and said, you know what, I care about you and it's worked for me. I want to go do this with you. And that's exactly the purpose in these Pound Club calls, the Hope calls on every Tuesday night now, is we're here. The Pound Club has stepped up and said, you know what, we're here to take every person with us. Everybody has a big goal, whether it's 50 pounds or more, whether it's 10 pounds, whatever. We want to make sure that we inspire you, that we give you the encouragement that you need. Find any of us on Facebook. Reach out to us. Ask us for tips, tricks. What can we do to help you to get to your goal? We've got NST coming up, the National Success Training coming up in Fort Lauderdale in April. And right now we're at about 135, 137 people in the Pound Club, and I know there's a lot of people that are really, really close. So we really are here to just inspire others to be able to hit their goals. ViSalus is on a mission to absolutely 100% crush obesity. And I thank everybody tonight for their story. Jim, Barry, Faith, you guys are just over the top, and I really am tremendously grateful to be in this Pound Club with you guys. Folks, we can't encourage you enough to shoot your Project 10 videos when you start your challenge. Whether you're on the challenge yet or, and you're coming up on, you got 2 more pounds to go before you can shoot your next video, or if you haven't started with us, make sure you're shooting your videos and getting them submitted to the company, because for every 10 pounds that somebody loses in fat or builds in lean muscle, the company's feeding an at-risk child 90 free meals on your behalf. 90 meals to a child in your local area that is either struggling with obesity or struggling with malnutrition, and the company is going to feed them 93 meals on your behalf. So you truly cannot beat the mission of this company. One of the things that we've started doing this week, folks, is we're only having this Hope Call on Tuesday night. We're trying to make sure that we are still out here to be able to inspire people, but we have to make it a little bit more manageable. We understand that we're all busy, and we started off gung-ho. We want to try and do this Tuesday and Thursday nights every week, but it's really, we need to focus on being able to give the people that are on the calls on these nights more time to tell their stories, to be more impactful, and to make a bigger lasting legend for people. So, again, if you have not started the challenge yet, the person that reached out to you, get back in touch with them and tell them what your goal is. Tell them you're ready to get started. If you haven't watched the videos yet, go to overview.vi.com. We're seeing videos going viral this weekend of people that went to the regional events. We've got new 100-pound club members being able to tell their stories, stand on stage and just really seeing a room of 1,000 people crying over these stories. It truly is amazing. So, folks, with that, we want to wrap this call tonight. We thank everybody for their time, and we look forward to hearing you guys on the call again next Tuesday night when we've got 3 more phenomenal stories coming to you. Have a great night, folks. This call is a wrap.